Forms of architecture have been and are a big part of our lives, and you may not even know it. Believe it or not, architecture has always been a part of what has shaped our cultures. You might ask, what is architecture? It is the art and designing of constructing buildings. Different forms of architecture have shaped many different cultures in ancient times and current times. In today's world, architecture is everywhere, from sculptures to skyscrapers to even an old small house. These forms of architecture can show the life of people in a region. Today I will be explaining some of ancient architecture and current architecture, and how they have shaped cultures and can shape future cultures. Architecture can shape and has shaped many different cultures throughout history. Thousands of years ago, some of the first forms of architecture were created by some of the earliest civilizations. According to a book named Annals of the MBC, an unknown author talks about how the Egyptians were some of the first people to use building techniques to combine art and architecture in around 3000 BC. In ancient Egypt, you would most likely think of the pyramids if I said architecture, but the Egyptians also used architecture to create huge cities that contained a centralized temple for the pharaoh. The Egyptians combined art with their architecture to show many different things about their culture. Other areas in the Mediterranean region also began to use large forms of architecture themselves after the Egyptians. The Babylonians of Mesopotamia created a huge city of Babylon, which had later been known for its Hanging Gardens of Babylon under the rule of King Nebuchadnezzar. The Hanging Gardens showed a lot about how the cultures had progressed from about 2000 to 1000 BC. Around 500 BC, the Romans began creating new forms of architecture. The buildings they created were much bigger than others further around the time. By about 70 AD, the Romans had created the well-known Colosseum, which was used for many different things, such as festivals, executions, and many other cultural activities. Modern-day architecture can be compared to ancient architecture in a few ways. Ancient architecture has also influenced it greatly. Modern architecture also varies all around the world. People in different regions of the world have different ideas that lead to different forms of architecture. In a 2014 article named The Conservation, author Jan Golembiewski says that many different architects agree with the statement that culture can be influenced by architecture. She says that people can be positively or negatively affected depending on their setting around their architecture. People are also drawn together through architecture. As our world grows, populations in different areas become much more diverse. In specific regions, large forms of architecture can represent a stage for culture. In a smaller area such as South Dakota, we can match our culture with our state capitol building. The culture of South Dakota is diverse and can be depicted within the state capitol. It depicts different parts of the Native American culture and even European culture. Other forms of architecture, such as public buildings, are good examples of how people have used it for interactions. Other big forms of architecture that can set a stage for a region is a college. Some colleges use forms of architecture to pull different kinds of people in. Architecture in the future can be taken in many different directions. Modern architects are working to create new ideas every day. As architecture from years ago has influenced the modern versions, it can still influence future architecture. Future architecture can also bring in people together to help our cultures too. As it is said in a 2017 article titled HuffPost Living, Toon Dreesen states that people wanting to work together to help the environment can be more environmentally friendly with the creation of better factories and industrial buildings. Future architecture also has the chance to ultimately join cultures together, completely. As new architects create new ideas, they could be combined through different cultures and can relate them. Multicultural buildings could be the key to creating new cultures in the future. Altogether, I've told you about ancient architecture, modern architecture, possibilities of future architecture, and how they have all shaped our cultures from time to time. Architecture is created in many ways, shapes, and forms, but it does more than just serve as a building. Architecture can shape and has shaped many different cultures throughout history.